Welcome to our Rwanda Service Learning Orientation. My name is Dr. Sherry Harper Woods. Most people call me Dr. Sherry or Dr. Woods. I'm really glad that you've decided to join us. I'm one of the facilitators or group leaders for the trip. We also have Dr. Kress and Dr. Shortreed, and they'll take a moment and introduce themselves as well. And you guys can choose whether you go now or you do it when you introduce your part, whatever is comfortable for you.
I'll go ahead and jump in. Hey, everyone. My name is Vicki Kress, and I'm a professor in the counseling program. And I know we are stoked about this. We all love Africa, and we're so excited that you're going to be a part of this. This is going to change your life. Like, you will never be the same after this. And we're just so honored to be with you on this journey as we head overseas. I am a counseling instructor in the counseling program, and really excited to connect with you. Mary?
It says that your sound is working, but we can't hear you, Mary. Dr. Shortreed. No.
How about that?
There we go.
Thank you. So I'm Dr. Shortreed. I've been at YSU for many years. I'm in the nursing department, and I am so excited to be going back to Rwanda. It's just going to be amazing for all of you. I can only speak for the nursing experiences. I can't speak for the other ones, but like Dr. Kress said, it is life-changing, and you will never be the same, and you will remember this trip forever. So that's all I have for now.
We're so glad that you all joined us today, just to give you an idea of where we're going. So I'll start by giving an introduction, and then Dr. Shortreed is going to go over a fact sheet with you. And then Dr. Kress is going to do some of the nuances and cultural things that we didn't likely catch on the sheet, or may have, but things that she finds also important to share with you. So you'll have a bit from each of us today. We have here today, I don't know how familiar you are, but we have 3 disciplines. So we have counseling, social work, and nursing, which is, I think, one of the best mixes to do a trip with. We've done several of these and in different places, but I find it to be a really good mix. And we're glad that we're trying this all over again. So I'll get started with just introducing you to the course and a little bit of our itinerary. If you're just popping in, I'm Dr. Sherry Harper Woods. I'm one of the group leaders for the Rwanda Service Learning and Study Abroad experience. So I'll begin with sharing my screen. And as soon as I find which screen, I am recording this for people who were maybe not able to attend today. And I thought I had, okay, here we go. I have glasses, but I confess that sometimes I still can't see. So I'm hoping you're able to see. Are you able to see an itinerary here that says GEI at the top? Can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I won't scroll down through it because it makes people dizzy when you're online and you're doing this. But this is just a little glimpse of what we'll be doing. You can find it in the course for social work and nursing. You can find it in the course template marked as the itinerary. So basically, we have 3 main categories that things fall within. We have an excursion category, then we have our service learning, and then we have kind of other. So for our service learning, we will be serving at 2 main sites. One of those is at the, I can't say it right, Nurahombo Women's Center. I'm sorry, not the Nurahombo Women's Center, the Morambo Women's Center, which is a girls' facility, and social work counseling will be providing some social and emotional learning activities such as stretching, mindfulness, meditation. Those activities are included in the curriculum as well. You'll look through them, and we don't have to spend a lot of time today because in our next meeting, we'll review those for counseling and social work. Nursing will be providing some assessments, and you guys have already met maybe once or twice even with Dr. Shortreed about what you will be doing. We also will be visiting their educational center. They call her Mama Arlene. She's the founder of the place there, and she's like in her late 80s or early 90s, I forget, but she has been doing this for a long time. And at that facility, social work and counseling, again, we'll do social emotional learning. Social work will join me in a training with the educators, while counseling is doing service with the students doing some of those activities. And then when we come back the second day, we'll shadow the teachers and be in the classroom doing the activities with them. So that's the service part. We also, in the other, will visit the prison fellowship and learn about what they're doing with restorative justice. We had planned a tour, but they now charge quite a substantial amount just to walk through the village and do that work with them. So because we hadn't included that cost for you, we won't be doing that part. But we'll get to spend also a day at the Women's Center and a guided walking tour and eating lunch in someone's home. We will do a day in the life of a Zizi. And that's my favorite, where we actually go into a village with a collective and women there. And then the final treat for us is a visit to Akagera National Park. And as part of this visit, we get to see the safari. We do an afternoon one on our first day and then a morning one on the second. So we can get into any questions that you might have about the specific itinerary. Either you can contact me separate, or we can save room at the end for those questions. But basically, we have 10 days full of movement. There's not a lot of time to rest. Dr. Kress is working on us with the schedule to make sure we have that time to debrief and to just have some woo-saw time. But it's really compact days. The days go fast. We get there and then it's time to go home and you're like, what happened? We just got here. So within the course template though, please sign into that. If you're nursing and counseling, it includes links to all of the places that we'll visit and further information about the schedule. So I jumped right in and tried to give everyone a few minutes to get here. I wanted to take a moment and let you tell us about who you are. And so if you want to, since there's a number of us and we want to make sure we get through the time, just say your name, what department you're with, and maybe just one word that describes how you're feeling about our trip. So I'll start. I'm Dr. Sherry Hartford Woods. I am an associate professor in the social work department and one of the group leaders. And my word is I am hyped. And I know that's not a cool word, but that's the only word I can come up with that explains how I feel about going. And we can just pop up, if someone else starts, we can just stop and give space for that.
I'll jump in. My name is Victoria Kress. I'm a counseling professor, and I am so excited to there's nothing that I think we all love more than sharing Africa with you all, because we know it's going to change you forever. So I'm stoked. Jen, do you want to go next? You're next to me.
Hi, I'm Jen Smeltz. I'm in the master's level social work program. I'm just really excited and I guess open-minded, see what's going to happen.
Thank you for sharing. How about you select someone else for us, Jen, and that way we can keep from jumping in on. So you just pick who goes next.
I'm on my phone, so I'm having a hard time seeing everybody else.
That's okay. So I'll pick for you. How about Emily?
Hi, I'm Emily Strand. I'm from the counseling program, and I would say I'm curious about the trip. And next to me is Jill.
Hi, I'm Jill. I'm in my master's social work program. I am so excited about this trip. I'm ready, got my bags packed, I'm picking out my, what I need to wear. I'm just so stoked about it.
Thank you. Select someone. Jen, okay, I'll pick Hannah for you. She's next on my screen.
My name is Hannah Pace. I'm in the social work program, and like everybody else, I think I'm really excited. I'm really curious. I can't wait to learn more about this trip. And I'll pick to go next, Michaela.
I'm in the clinical mental health counseling track, and I'm just excited overall. I think it'll be fun, a good experience, and to try different foods too. Looking forward to that. I will pick Emma. She's next.
Hi, everybody. I'm Emma. I'm in my second semester of the clinical mental health counseling program. And I think, like all of you said, I'm very excited, but I'm also feeling very inspired to have this opportunity to go on this trip. So I'll pick Aralia.
Hi, I am Aralea Hammond. I'm also in the clinical mental health counseling track. I am really excited to go. I'm also a little bit nervous just because I'm sure all of us have a little bit of anxiety going too. But yeah, I'm very excited and looking forward to it. And I will pick, let's see, who do I have? Morgan.
Hi, everybody. I'm Morgan. I'm also in the clinical mental health counseling track. And my word is also nervous and also excited because there's like so much we have to do and we have to go to the doctor and get all this stuff. And that makes me nervous. But I'm really excited for the experience and just to learn over there as well. Julia.
Hi, everyone. Sorry, I hopped on a couple minutes late. I am Julia. I am in the clinical mental health counseling program as well. I am, like Morgan, feeling very nervous and excited. I am so excited to have this opportunity and learn more about the people of Rwanda and their culture and just experience different things, but also nervous to get everything together and prepare. But I am so excited. So let me see. I don't know who hasn't gone yet, like just because I came a little bit late. I'm so sorry.
Okay. Well, that's okay. I'll choose for you. We'll choose Carly.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Carly. I'm in the nursing program. I'm very excited. This is definitely a once in a lifetime thing to do. Definitely the culture is what I'm most looking forward to, just getting to experience all new things, food, people, everything like that. So do I pick? Do you want me to pick or are you picking? Okay, Abby.
Hi, I'm Abby. I'm going with nursing and I'm very excited. I have one with me too.
Hi, I'm Sammy. We just jumped on together. I'm also very excited. It is a once in a lifetime trip, like Carly said, and we're both in nursing.
Who do you want to pick?
Oh,
I don't know. Jennifer, I guess.
Hi, I'm Jennifer. Most people call me Jenny. I'm in the nursing program. I'm a junior. And again, I'm super excited to go, and I just want to be able to learn more and travel just to see different parts of the world. All right, go ahead, Natalie.
Natalie, we can't hear you.
I'm sorry, Natalie, we can't hear you, but we'll give you a moment to play around and figure out what's going on with your sound. Rihanna, would you like to share with us?
Hi, everybody. My name is Rihanna. I'm in the social work program and I am anxious to go to see everything and experience everything.
Okay, who do we have? That still hasn't gone. Everybody's moving around on the screen. I'm trying to see.
I'll go.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, I'm Jasmine. I'm sorry. I'm like sneaking on here at my work. So I have to like talk kind of low. But I am in my second semester of the Master's of Social Work program. And honestly, I'm feeling like 100 emotions. Like I really love to travel, but this will be my first time going so far away from home. But I think that the biggest emotion I'm feeling is like expectancy. Like I'm expecting so many things. Like, so I'm excited.
Thank you.
And I'll pick Robert.
Hi, I'm Robert. I'm a junior in the nursing program right now, and I'm just excited to go. I don't know who to pick next.
I think we have still Chrissy and Natalie
I can go.
and Hannah.
Chrissy, yep. My name is Chrissy. I am working on my master's, so finishing up my master's in school counseling. I am excited to go, and I guess I'm just curious to see the different type of, I guess, restorative chats and think that they do, so I can implement it with my students next year as a school counselor.
Thank you. Okay, Natalie and Hannah. Natalie, your sound still isn't working. You're more than welcome to put your introduction in the chat if you choose. I'm sorry for that. Technology is good until it isn't. And whoever we have left, I think we have Haley too, right?
Yeah, I haven't gone yet. I'm Haley. I'm going with the nursing program. I'm a junior, and I'm just really excited to learn about the culture and the history there, but also go and have a fun time and enjoy the new foods as well.
Thank you. Natalie's putting hers in the chat. I think, did Abby, we still have Abby?
I already went.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Is there anyone who we've missed who hasn't gone yet? I know we have Dr. Sharp. We're saving her for last so we can transition. So we have Natalie, who's in the nursing program, and she's excited to learn about the culture and get to work with the different departments. Thank you, Natalie. We're excited for all of you. Is there anyone who has not introduced themselves?
Dr. Woods, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that I didn't have to keep working on my volume. Thank you.
So the next thing is we'll transition into Dr. Short-Reed. She already told you about her excitement. We'll transition to her, and she's going to share with you a little bit about the fact sheet and some information and immunizations. And then we'll move from her into Dr. Kress. So whenever you're ready, Dr. Short-Reed.
Am I going to talk about the fundraiser also?
Yes, I'm sorry,
Okay.
and the fundraiser.
Okay, I believe that Dr. Wood sent out the information about the fundraiser to everyone. So just a couple things, if you're able to, please share that. If you're on any of the social medias, please share it. Actually, I didn't look at it today, but I think we're at about somewhere around $1,700 that we've raised so far. We put our goal at 3,000, and what that goal will get us or allow us to do is provide goats, male and female goats, to the women of the villages, hens, chickens, and also a plot of land for them so that they can grow thistle, which is a plant that they make crafts out of. So when we go there, everywhere that there's souvenirs, you're going to see crafts made out of thistle. And so currently these women have to buy the thistle to make their crafts, and then they sell them at the market. Well, this land, if we can buy it for them, allows them to plant their own, therefore their profits are greater. And so the last thing we want to do is to be able to buy some things for the children where we're going to go. whether it's clothing, toys, things like that. And if we meet our $3,000 goal, we'll be able to buy those things as well. So if you're able to share that with anyone, we greatly appreciate that. Second of all, I'm going to go through quickly. Oh, Dr. Woods, it says you disabled my screen sharing. Are you able to enable me to screen share?
Yep, I have to figure that out. Sorry, I thought I had you as a co-host, so I need to make you.
So while she's figuring that out, I am not going to read word for word off that fact sheet. I believe that it is already loaded in.
You should be host now.
Yes, I am. Thank you. So I believe this is loaded up in Blackboard. I added a few things over the weekend, and so I just really want to go over some of the newer information or things that I think we need to talk about now. There are many things that, you know, we don't need, they're not urgent. So I'm just going to scroll through some of these things. I think everybody probably knows that they need $50 for their visa to get into Rwanda. You'll need that $50 cash when we get to the airport. Here's information about the flights. We don't really have any more information than this. Like, we don't know where you're sitting. What we do know is you're not in first class. So we know that much, but we don't have any other information except what I have there. I did add this under the emergency contact. It's the U.S. Embassy in Kigali. There's phone numbers, email numbers, and so you may want to leave that with your family. You know, we don't expect any issues, but it's always good to be prepared and have people, you know, have other resources. The passport. So hopefully you have all started to work on your passport if you don't have one. But I just wanted to put this expiration date. If you currently have a passport, it cannot expire before November 24th, 2023. And so that's 6 months after we leave Rwanda. And that is their policy, Rwanda's policy, that your passport has to be valid for that 6 months afterwards. So please, if you have a passport already, check the expiration date. If it's going to expire before November 24th, then you need to get a new passport updated so that you're safe to go. Another thing about the passport is you need to have at least one empty page in the passport. That's for your visa to get into Rwanda. That's all I wanted to talk about with that. Vaccinations. So many of you already have these routine vaccinations. If you don't, I would recommend that you get them. However, there are travel vaccinations that are mandatory. So the hepatitis A, the typhoid, hepatitis B, you need to have those. If you go on the website that I have provided later in this document, or you go searching around, which you're free to do, of course, you may see discussion about getting a yellow fever or a rabies vaccination when going to Rwanda. You do not need to get that based on where we're going to be. Okay, so if you see that, don't worry about that. We do not need that. Now, the typhoid vaccination, that's only good for 2 years. So maybe you've been on another trip and you already had one. You'll need to check that date, and that typhoid vaccination would need to be good through the time we're coming home from Rwanda. You can get a typhoid at the Mahoning County Board of Health. I put all the information there, or you can get it at the CVS Minute Clinic. It's $160 at the Mahoning County Board of Health. It's $142 at the CVS Minute Clinic. And if you can find it cheaper somewhere else, let us all know, and feel free to get it anywhere you want. But you do need to have that. I would recommend no later than 2 weeks before we leave on the trip, because you need to be able to build up immunity so that it covers you while we're on the trip. Malaria, we all need to have malaria medicine. That's medicine that we actually take orally. It's not an injection. You need to go to your physician to get that prescription. I put in here as well, if you don't have a primary care physician, you can go to the WIC primary care here on campus, and you can get this taken care of there. Typically, the way it works is you start your malaria medicine before we leave, we take it while we're gone, and we take it when we get back. Now, I put a little update here that the CDC recommends these medicines on that second line, and I'm not going to read those to you, but they recommend those medicines, and it's very important that chloroquine, Rwanda malaria is resistant to chloroquine. Chloroquine is the medicine that I've always taken when I've traveled on these trips. And so it's important to please ask your doctor not to prescribe that drug because it will not help you. Also, and again, these are for further, before we leave, but I just want to bring them to your attention. It would be helpful if you also ask your physician to order you a broad spectrum antibiotic that you can bring with you just in case you come down with something. There's not an urgent care on every corner in Rwanda. And so if we don't have medicine with us, chances are we're not going to be able to get it. So we just want to be prepared. Again, I'm not going through everything, but the baggage requirements. I have put the baggage requirements on this form from the airlines. One thing I want to be specific about is those dimensions start at the floor. So you can see that checked bag says 31 inches high, but that's from the floor. You have to be able to measure both your wheels and your bag in that 31 inches. So don't just measure your bag because it will be an oversized bag if you're not including your wheels. If you have any questions about any of those dimensions or how to measure whatever, please make sure to ask one of us so that we can help you with that. Skip all this. You can for sure read this yourself, but I just want to show you that I did add in some U.S. State Department information also of things that I thought were important to us. Not necessarily today, they're not important, but when we go there, we should not be taking pictures of military sites, government buildings, airports, public monuments, because they're prohibited in Rwanda. I put that there for myself as much as for you because I take millions of pictures, and I probably took a picture at the airport last time. And so I thought that all of these little details were important for us. And so if you would take a look at them. And lastly, I think the last thing I want to talk about on here is Smart Traveler Enrollment Program, or the STEP program. And you can go to that website I have listed, and you'll enroll yourself based on the dates of where you're going to be. So we're going to be in Brussels for a day, then we're going to be in Rwanda, then we're going to be back in Brussels, and you'll put in all that information so that if there is something that we need to be alerted about, you will automatically get notified. And so you don't have to do that. I'm enrolled, and so I will get notified. But if you want to be up to date on what's going on in those countries, if there's something that we need to know, you can do that. And then Dr. Sherry has these phrases for you, and she's going to lead us in learning how to say all those words because she's our expert. I am not the expert, but really that's all that I wanted to share about that document. Is there anything else you wanted me to talk about with that, Dr. Sherry?
Excuse me. Thank you for sharing that information. I suggest that you take the fact sheet and go through one thing at a time. There's a lot of information, but there are a lot of good details. Dr. Shortreed is really a detail-oriented person, so she is the helper in getting all that. I'm just true confession right here, transparency. If you want details, I'm not going to probably be the one that you want to ask the question to. I have two detail-oriented colleagues who love details. So if it's a detail question, ask Dr. Shortreed, ask Dr. Kress. Don't get frustrated when you ask me and I say, oh, I hadn't thought about that question because it's probably true. I had not thought about that question, but I do have two people who will be willing and ready to answer your question, and then copy me because it's probably a question that I'll ask them later. So that way I get the answer by asking, but that is not my strength. Full confession here. The other thing is about the luggage that it seems like something really little, but I just want to say, and I think Dr. Kress will probably talk about that nuance, that that's one of those little things that is a really big thing if you don't attend to it here. So we had trouble when we went before because you start out on United Airlines, but you have to go by those bag that you could travel internationally from the States. If you stayed on any other airline other than Brussels, would probably be okay. So what I've done even this time, and I've been several times, that I'm doing differently is when I go, I ask I'm going to ask, is this an international suitcase? But also I took my tape measure myself to make certain, because I was told on my last trip, yes, it was, but no, it was not. So you want to, again, like she said, from the wheels. I know she already said that, but I want to reiterate that because as you're looking, it's going to be really important, especially if you're ordering off of Amazon, because they'll say that it is that, and it won't include the wheels, and then you'll get it and it'll have the wheels and you'll measure it and it won't work. So just be really careful about that. I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Kress and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Dr. Sherry. Can you let enable it so I can share the screen, my screen? Thank you. We can't hear you. It's not letting me do it. That's okay. Oh, you're breaking up. That's okay. I don't need it. If we can't do it, that's no problem.
No, but, Dr. Shortreed has to make you the host. It's not allowing me that option.
Okay, got it.
Tell me how I do that. I don't use Zoom.
So you click on
Say it again.
and then you click on participants. And when you see her name, there's 3 dots. You select make her the host.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Mary. Dr. Mary. Okay, let me share my screen here with you guys. Well, rats, after all that, no, it's not showing up here, guys. I'm sorry. I'll just go ahead and go over it. So listen, I created a Google form for us, or excuse me, a Google folder for us to share. And all of you should have received an invitation to participate in the Google folder at some point. If for some reason you did not get that invitation, please send me an email. And I posted my email address in here. It's victoriaekress@gmail.com. So if you send me an email, I can go ahead and add you again and make sure you get a notification of that. Within this folder, I have really detailed information about the trip and things that you need to think about, very similar to what Dr. Mary and Sherry were already talking about, along with some additional information. I also thought that we could use this as a space to share pictures and videos with each other. We did this on our last Rwanda trip and it was really successful because everyone would just upload their materials there and then everyone could access it. So it's a really nice way to kind of communicate and share. And let's see, what else do I have in here? Also have an emergency roster. So if you could go in here, I have a like kind of like a Google like form, Excel form, that you can plug in your name and any of your emergency contacts. This is obviously really important because we want to make sure if anything comes up that we can get a hold of your people and make them aware of what's going on. So that's what I've got in there, along with kind of a light version of a packing list that you might consider as well. So I know that all of you are very interested in what to bring, right? Like, what do I bring? What do I pack? That I think that's where we get the most questions. The most essential thing is like making sure you have your passport together and you get your typhoid vaccine and you have your malaria medication, but also what do you bring is really on your mind, right? In terms of the malaria medication, when I go to East Africa, I always use Melorone, it's called. Obviously, you want to consult with your doctor and have your doctor decide what you get, but I always take Melorone, and I've had no problems taking that. Sometimes I have like vivid dreams, which is a common side effect. But other than that, I haven't had any issues with it. So I also just wanted to mention that, but your medical provider can help you figure this out. So let's talk a bit about some of the health, food, weather, dress kinds of considerations. When we're going to remind you this a million times, when we are in Africa, you won't drink any water except bottled water. And our hosts in Africa, they do a wonderful job of having ample bottled water. To be honest, I don't think I bought any on our last study abroad trip because they provided so much to us. You don't want to drink the tap water. Our systems are not accustomed to the tap water in Rwanda. Something else that we'll want to think about is ice. And again, we'll remind you of this. When we go out, we'll need to ask if the ice is made with purified water, or if not, then we won't be able to have ice. Also, when you brush your teeth, you're going to want to use the bottled water. I've traveled to East Africa a number of times. I often forget to, it's just like habit, and I always forget to grab my water bottle. But I've never had a problem, but it is something that, we want to be very conservative around safety issues. Something else that I always suggest is when we're traveling, I always pack like my hydro flask or a bottle. The first thing I do when I get to any airport is I fill it up. And if you do this will save you a lot of money. So you don't have to be buying water in the airport. And so you always have it and don't have to be kind of a slave to getting it. On our flights, they'll give you a ton of water too. So that's not an issue. And you can drink the water in Brussels. So it's just once we get onto the African continent, you're going to want to stick with the bottled water. Okay. None of us or no one in Africa will verify that you got the vaccines that you're supposed to get, but it is really important that you get those. When I travel, one of the things that I always do when I go to Africa is I request from my medical provider a Cipro and a Z-Pack to take with me. Again, that's up to you to do that or not. The medical care in Rwanda is really good. I actually had a friend who was doing work in a village, a really rural village, a couple hours away from Kigali, the capital, where we'll mostly be. And she wound up having a really serious medical event. She had no idea what was wrong with her. It turned out she had kidney stones, which she had never had before. And they threw her, they kind of threw her in the car and took her to the hospital. And she had a great experience. She got really good care. The medical care in Rwanda is good. That said, I just always like to travel with Cipro and a Z-Pack just to be safe, but you don't have to do that. And that might be, again, something you ask your medical provider about. The food in Rwanda I think it's outstanding. I absolutely love the food. I actually gain like 5 pounds every time I go to Africa. I think the food is really good. And a lot of our meals will actually be at kind of international restaurants. So Kigali is really a thriving metropolis. There's lots of good food options. And I think we'll be having maybe Indian food one night. I think I might have seen Thai food on the list. So there'll be a lot of different international foods we have, but the Rwandan food, which you'll also get to enjoy at a number of different points, is very good. If any of you are vegetarians or vegan, the food there is actually kind of naturally vegan. I don't remember very little dairy in Rwandan food, but I guess some of the international food you might find that. But there's a lot of vegetable options. One of the things I'll discourage you from eating any foods like that may have been washed with local water. And again, I'm going to remind you of all this. So like salad, I love salad. I eat salad every day. When I go to Africa, I don't eat salad because it may have been washed with water. And I encourage you to focus on eating fruits or vegetables that are peeled, right? So like a banana or an orange or something like that. Okay. You might think about bringing some snacks with you on the flight. I like to bring snacks with me just to save money. So I might grab some like protein bars, nuts, fruit with me. You can't take fruit internationally though. I think that's like kind of a thing you can't do, but like here in the States, you can have the fruit and things with you, or any other like regular food snacks, things that are wrapped. Okay. As of now, I don't know where we're at with the COVID testing, and we'll have to kind of check on that as we get closer. But as of now, your fees cover a COVID test in Rwanda. So I think, you should be covered with the COVID test issue there. They have excellent, amazing coffee and tea there in Rwanda that you'll be getting generously. There'll be a lot of that. If you say have diabetes or you need sugar substitutes, those are not broadly available. So you might want to bring those if that's something that you're worried about. At the Akigera hotel that we're going to be staying at, there is a pool. When we went last time, no one went swimming. You can go swimming in the pool if you want to bring your swimsuit, but no swimming, like there's no opportunities, but we won't be swimming in any like lakes or rivers or things like that, obviously, while we're there. There is one day, the day that Dr. Sherry mentioned, where we're in the village. It's such a fun day. We get to kind of live like a villager for the day and experience that. There is some physical labor involved in that. You can be as engaged or not as you want, depending on any physical considerations that you may have. So like when we were there, we did a little bit of hoeing. We walked, I don't know, about a mile to carry and get some water to bring back to the village. So there is a little bit of activity involved in that. And another physical consideration I wanted to mention is jet lag. I hate jet lag. I'm really sensitive. Some people don't struggle with it. You might want to Google things you can do to minimize the jet lag. I think the biggest thing that I found is helpful is you can't nap, right? And we're going to keep you going, so you really won't have a lot of opportunity for that anyway, but you're so tired and you just can't nap, right? So kind of burning through it is really important. And I also think drinking a lot of water while you're flying and traveling is so important. It can minimize jet lag, and it can also help you with dehydration. It's really easy to feel dehydrated on any flight, even a couple-hour flight. I felt dehydrated. I'm in Florida right now. I felt dehydrated just flying down here. So just make sure you drink a lot of water. And again, bring your water bottle. That'll go a long way to helping you with that. I also suggest personally, I like to sleep as much as I can on the flight because I find that also helps me kind of minimize jet lag. Okay, one of the other really important things that you want to think about is money. And again, in this Google form, I have a lot of detailed information about this. It takes a little bit of legwork and planning in advance, but you want to be prepared around the money issue. So one thing to mention is in Belgium, here in America, they spit your credit card out at you before they give you your money. And when I was in Belgium, I goofed up so bad. And thank God Dr. Sherry let me borrow money from her, but my cash card, I put it in and I got my money and I walked away and I left my card there, so that was a really bad position to be in. So I think it's a muscle memory we have that in America, they spit it out at you. So make sure that in Belgium, you're cautious about that. give you your money and not your card first. So make sure you're aware of that. But you want to call your bank and figure all of this out. When you get there, some of your cash cards will charge you exorbitant fees to take cash out in another country, and some of them don't. So like I have one card that gives me the best exchange rate with my cash card in that country. I also have a Chase International credit card that as long as I pay it off that month, I don't have to pay crazy fees, international transaction fees and things like that. So I really like the Chase International card. All my friends have that as well. It's a good one if you want to get that special card to help you with your travels. But make sure that you call your bank and you ask these questions because you don't want any surprises around that. An international credit card fees can really get you and really add to your expenses, and we don't want you to have that. So make sure you call. Related to that, you also want to be thinking about like letting your company know that you're going to be traveling abroad. So make them aware, like, hey, I'm going to be in Rwanda, Belgium and Rwanda these dates, so that they don't block your card or think it was stolen. Another thing that you want to think about is your phone, your cell phone. So call like I know Verizon, I think they charge like $10 a day to kind of carry your plan over into another country. I have Google Fi, and I have to get a SIM card. I don't have any international or excuse me, I have an so the way Google Fi works, if any of you have it, is you can go any country and use your phone, but I don't have data in Rwanda. So I have to buy a SIM card when I get there and use the SIM card for my data. I just don't even have that as an option. So whatever plan you have, make sure you call in advance and you're prepared for that. And also make sure you budget for that, right? Like that is an additional expense for most of you that you want to take consideration of. Most of the markets we shop at will only take cash. A lot of them do take US dollars. A lot of them really like that. And our host will work with us when we get there. We will go to a place where you can exchange your dollars for the Rwandan francs. So again, we've thought all of that through. We just want to make sure you've got the dollars that you need to get the francs and get access to cash that you may need while we're there. And again, our host will help take us to places where we have that. So we'll think about all of that for you. In terms of accommodations, we're staying at the Chez Landau, which is really a very lovely hotel. We'll have a breakfast buffet that's wonderful every single day. They've got like some beverages and things in your refrigerator if you want to take, to use some of those and have some of that. You want to, I always take extra toilet paper with me, but I've never had a problem in Rwanda with toilet paper, but I have in other countries. But I always say it's not a bad idea to take like a roll of toilet paper and throw it in your backpack so that you have that with you in case you need it. I also take hand sanitizer with me, again, just in case. It comes in handy, no pun intended, depending on like where we're at and what's going on. Another thing that you want to think about is Rwanda has 230-volt electricity, and here in the US we use 110 volts. You want to budget like about $20 to buy an international adapter that you can use when you're traveling, and you want to make sure that your any appliances, like our hotel will have should have a hair dryer, but like if you bring a curling iron or a flat iron or something like that, you want to make sure that tool can be adapted with the international adapter. So there's some, and I have this information in this file, but like I had to get a new curling iron because my curling iron wouldn't work with the international adapter. And I think it was like $20, but I had just, again, it's something you want to think about, like you might have to buy that. So you do want to look at the adapter. And if I can help you figure any of that out, let me know. It has like kind of directions on it, and it should say what it's good with. And it's like if you need a curling iron or a straightening iron or something like that, I can send you like ones I've gotten on Amazon that are compliant. The reason you want to get an international one is we'll be in Belgium where you need an adapter, and we'll also be in Rwanda. And so like they sell international ones that you can use across the board. Most laptop computers and cell phone chargers like mine work fine with the current in either Rwanda, Belgium, US. So, but that is something you just want to be kind of thinking about this. I think almost all computers do work with the adapters. You want to make sure before we go that your laptop has virus protection software on it. You may be vulnerable whenever you travel, you're vulnerable to this. So you want to make sure you have virus protection on your computer. In terms of packing, let's talk about packing for a minute. I suggest that you pack light. For the international travel, I take one suitcase and I take a carry-on suitcase and a backpack, and I only check my big suitcase. One thing that you guys have taught me is that you guys love to buy stuff, like you love to buy souvenirs and stuff, and that's awesome. Like we may have opportunities to buy things that the kids we're going to work with have made. Those can be big pictures and things that you may want to bring back. So you want to be thinking about, like, you might want to bring 2 big suitcases to pack things you want to bring back in. You guys really like to buy crafts and things in Africa, in Rwanda, and you guys love to buy like chocolate and things in Belgium. The Belgium chocolate is exquisite. I don't like chocolate. It's unbelievable. And also makes a really nice souvenir. So kind of think about what, do I want to bring 2 big suitcases to bring stuff back? I remember last time we went, there was a lot of like, hey, can you fit this in your suitcase, right? So you want to you kind of do an honest inventory of how much you're packing and how much you think you might want to bring back. And then also, I recommend bringing a carry-on with you, or in your backpack, bring like a change of clothes, bring a toothbrush, toothpaste, any medications that you require, because, it's possible they could lose your baggage and it might be a couple days before you get it back. So you want to make sure anything essential you've got with you, whether it's in a carry-on suitcase and or your backpack. You also want to layer on the plane. Layering is so important because temperature control on flights is really difficult, and we're going to be traveling through a lot of different time zones, right? So you want to layer, and by layer I mean like I might have like a tank top, and then like maybe a short sleeve shirt, maybe like a long sleeve shirt, maybe a fleece, right? You don't need a warm coat. Look at the Belgium temperature. I run hot, so I didn't never feel like I needed a coat. I think I might have just packed a fleece and a scarf for when we were in Belgium, because it is colder, quite a bit colder than it will be in Rwanda. But the layering is really important. And you also don't want to overpack. I find most of us tend to overpack because we're nervous. I actually find traveling with less is so enjoyable, and that maybe that's just me, but well, the day that we work in the village, you're going to get dirty and you're not going to be able to wear those clothes again. When we do the game drive, you're not going to be getting, you're not going to be getting out and walking more than like 10, 15 minutes at the most. So you're really not going to get, probably not going to get that dirty. I don't know if I think it's like the tail end of rainy season. So it might be more rain when we're there. But so I would say, just to be safe, maybe, think about like the day we're in the village, you can't reuse those clothes. The game drive, I don't think you'll get dirty, but the days that we're doing our service learning, I was able to recycle those outfits. So, you might be able to wear the same outfit 2 different days. And like, I remember like I packed capri pants, and then I had like the same pair of capri pants I wore for a couple days, but like shirts are very light and thin. So like I packed a couple different shirts to go with the capri pants. But you don't, we'll spend a day, we'll be kind of going into a district, and we'll be going to the genocide memorial. That's an outfit that you can recycle. So again, think about your comfort level, but I just found packing light was really, really, really helpful. Like I think I just brought like a couple pairs of PJs to wear to bed. Let's see, what else? In terms of your dress, you want to dress modestly. So ideally you want to like kind of cover your arms and shoulders. I like personally, I like kind of like these cold, I have like a cold shoulder, like, so my shoulders are kind of covered, but yet it's still kind of, cool. But obviously you want to be just like conservative, in terms of like, but how you're presenting. So like kind of knee length skirts. And again, we're going to be playing with kiddos. We're going to be having a lot of fun with the kids. We're going to be doing a lot of like singing and dancing and like icebreakers. And so I just suggest comfortable. So like if you have any like loose knee length skirts, like maxi dresses are great. Like maxi dresses, like things that like cover you, that are real loose, like kind of beach cover up type of things, where you might like cover up with like a light sweater or something a bit. Comfortable shoes. You want to be comfortable. You don't want to be wearing anything uncomfortable, because again, we're going to be singing and dancing and doing icebreakers with these kids, and you just want to be, comfort's the name of the game. We're going to be doing a lot of walking. So you want to be aware of bringing like comfortable walking shoes and things. Dr. Sherry and Dr. Mary, I know that the clothes are a real big thing that you guys think about, right? What did I forget around that?
Thank you. You handled a lot. You took care of a lot. Thank you for sharing all of that. Some of this stuff you'll remember, some you'll have questions about, and it's okay. You can email us. You can come back to this recording. I'm going to share it with you. You can come back. The biggest thing is look over the fact sheet. It'll cover a lot of your questions and help you with those aha, like, did I think about this? And like I said, you're welcome to email at anything. There were a few things, as Dr. Vicky was talking about, that I thought, I wanted to add this. I can't remember the name of the socks, Dr. Mary, that you had me to get, but they were great. They're the socks that, what do they call
Compression
Yes.
socks.
Compression socks for travel is a wonderful, wonderful asset. I found some at like Ollie's. I think they were like $2.99, and they had copper in them. They help because we're seated for a while. Also, we talk about the bank. On your fact sheet, there's information listed about the type of bills that you want to bring. Like you want to bring the larger bills. So make sure you just go back and pay attention to that. Also, be aware that we will have time to go to the exchange more than once if you needed to do so. Someone asked a question about the cell phones. So when we are servicing, we can have our cell phones with us because we want to be able to take pictures, but it would be just like being in class, that you would not use them during that time. You do want to check, as Dr. Vicky has said, with your courier to see what that cost is. We also will have our phones that if you needed to call someone to let them know you arrived safely, we're really good about that, passing it around saying, hey, everybody call, let someone know that you're safe. So you would be able to do that, as well as we'll give you our cell phone numbers if someone needed to get a hold of you and you chose not to do the international plan. As well as we talked about the adapters. My suggestion is that you not take it with you if you haven't already bought one. Amazon is a little pricey. We found right across from us at Cheslando that they had the adapters, and I think they were the equivalent of like $3 American. And also you can ask me because I have extra ones. I've been a few times and I don't know why I always forget them, and I buy other ones since they're only $3. So I have a few for that. I would say for Brussels to plan not to do the fluffy stuff that you might do one time. So we get there, we have just enough time to go downtown, then we come back and we go to sleep, we wake up in the morning, we travel. So maybe not even worry about doing all of the curling your hair and stuff for that next day. I promise you, you'll be tired and you won't feel like it anyway. You are not required to bring your laptops. I bring mine because I'm staying and I'm presenting some things. I think Dr. Shortreed has agreed to bring hers as well. So we have a backup one. So I think each discipline we'll have our own. So you don't need to bring those. If you choose for your own self to bring an iPhone or an iPad, and keep in mind, we covered a whole lot. I just want you to take a deep breath in and let it out and leave any anxiety that you have in this space. It was only an hour. We have plenty of time to discuss things as we meet for our next meeting, for our reviews. You can ask, you can email anytime. I want to thank you for your time. If we missed anything, like I said, and you think of something, please let us know. Again, we're really hyped, and we'll see you. I think social work and counseling, we meet again in February, like the 13th or something like this.
Yeah, and don't be anxious. Like, we're here. You can call, text, email. It's a lot, and we're going to keep reviewing this. Like, you guys are going to have a lot of great questions. So we just wanted to kind of give you like an overview. So yeah, the next time we connect, we'll start to talk with counseling and social work, my group, about the activities and what we're going to be doing. And it's going to be really fun. So.
And you can look them over on Blackboard for social work. They're already posted to Blackboard. So you can look through those as well as videos that lead you through. So most of you will know the activities if you've already taken my trauma class, because some of them were part of that. So thank you again. It's right at 12:59. We have 1 minute left. So let's just close with taking your hands up high. Reach into the sky like, yeah, I'm going to Rwanda. Bring them to your arms, hug yourself, because you are chosen to be a difference maker and travel global. And we're so glad to share this opportunity and this space with you. Take care. We'll see you next time.